Hello everyone. So it's around 6:15 in the morning right now, and we finally got our hive set up. It's been one day, and I've given the hive some time to settle around and the bees to get their bearing and start foraging. And I'm starting to see some bees bringing pollen, and that's good. So that means they're starting to forage stuff. So the best time for hive inspections are either late in the afternoons or early in the mornings. So before I leave for college, I'm gonna do a complete checkup of all the frames, and that way Iris messing up again. So I'm gonna do a checkup of all the frames, and we're gonna see how the population and health of the hive is, and if it's overcrowded in spring, the bees, they swarm. Now swarming means that half of the population that goes with the new queen, and we're left with a half population, so we don't want that. We want to have a full healthy hive. So in that case, if the hive is full of bees, we're gonna have to have another nectar hive and divide the frames with them, so we can now have two hives. And I've got these books I'm reading on beekeeping, so I'll keep sharing information with you guys as much as I know. Here's the smoker that I'll be using, and the face net, and that's my hive tool. Let's get started. So our smoker is ready. As you can see, first what you've got to do is puff some smoke at the entrance of the hive. Not too much, just enough. A few puffs, 3 or 4. I took the cover off. Now this. You could here it's probably sticky. That's because the bees, they use propolis. That's like sap of trees, like a cement of holding their hive together. I'm gonna give a few puffs. Now I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but all the bees they started buzzing because they're now going deeper into the hive, and when the smoke comes, they feel that there's a forest fire and they start ingesting honey. So first of all, I'm going to start with the frame over here. As you can see, I'm using my Beehive tool to kind of let the frame loose. And there's the frame. And I'm really so happy to see it's full of honey. I don't know if you guys could appreciate from over there, but the frame, if you see shiny thing inside the cells, that's honey. That's glistening right now. It's still not ready yet, the bees, they still have to dry it out and cap it with wax. So when it's capped, it's going to be a full frame on both sides, ready with honey. We've got some brood on top, and as you can see, the bees are, they're really very gentle. Not even once so far bitten me. I'm going to put this frame one side over here. Now as you can see, the bees, they're starting to get a little bit agitated, but not too much. And I'm going to continue the hive inspection, and I'll let you guys know if there's anything interesting I find more. Now I've got this frame. I don't know if you guys are able to appreciate it or not, but how bees do it in nature is that they fill honey on the top of the frame over here, and they usually have a brood. So this down here, this is the brood. You can see brown capped cells, and even these white things, these are larvae, young bees that are growing, and that's capped brood. And bees, when they're formed, fully metamorphosized, they're going to eat through these caps and get out. And I don't see any queen cells right now. That's a healthy brood. I'm still trying to find the queen. So these are bees filling in honey into the cells. This is another frame, and you can see very healthy brood, all the way regularly filled over here. This shows that the queen is meticulous and healthy and young, and she's not missing any cells, and she has almost completely filled this side and this side as well with brood. So that's a very good sign. And the bees, they're starting to crowd, so I might have to start another hive and divide the frames with them. So I can't find the queen right now, but what's interesting in this frame, here, let me try to focus in on this. I hope you guys can appreciate, but these cells filled with yellow stuff, that's basically pollen. And it's called bee bread in bee terminology. The bees, this is basically a protein source for bees. Well, so far so good. We're almost done with the hive inspection, only 2 more frames left. So I haven't been able to find the queen, so since it's my first ever bee hive inspection, so I don't suppose I'm that much of an expert at the moment, but I've been able to find a few new eggs, which means the queen's inside and she's busy laying eggs. Now what I'm going to do is that I'll start putting all these frames together. Those with the brood, they go in the center usually, and those with honey, we try to put them to the sides of the hive. So it's going to, bees, they're starting to get a little feisty and angry, so give them a little puff of smoke. Since I've been at it for a while, this is the one with the brood, goes inside over here. So This is a good hive that we've got here. It's got a good population of bees, so I'm happy with it. Now what we're going to do is add the rest of the frames back and close the hive. So I just thought I'd show this to you guys. This shiny cell, that's honey right there, and you can see that bee, she's putting honey in that cell. So we've got a very nice full frame that's getting filled with honey. So I'm going to close the hive down now. I'm going to put this cloth back over, followed by this. And since it's summer's almost, so I'm going to sprinkle some water so it stays cool when it starts to heat up and the sunlight hits it. I'm going to put the top cover at a tilted angle, so if there's any rain, it washes off over there and does not stagnate over. So we're done with the hive inspection and everything's fine, and I haven't been stung. So that's, I think, really fine and good by me for a first beehive inspection. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you, Iris, she's happy and interested to see the new bees, just a little curious that they don't bite her. Isn't that right, Iris? Huh? So I'll let you go now. Okay.